I got one chance. No sleep till I'm enhanced. Fight hard to keep my stance. Knuckle up, time to buckle up. I got one shot and I won't stop. One goal for the joyride. I'm a champion. Move aside.
Oh, okay.
Are you kidding me?
Taking over the game.
What am I watching? They might just be doing it.
He's a god. He's a god.
Yeah.
Full force, I'm unleashed, so don't speak. Grandmaster, don't sleep. Victory, it tastes so sweet. Knuckle up, time to buckle up. I got one shot and I won't stop. One goal for the joyride. I'm a champion. Move aside. Let's go.
Welcome everybody to the Overwatch League. Doa and ZP here with you for another night of games. Well, we get to do the first series anyway, then Avril and Achilleos take over. But hey, we've got LA Valiant versus Seoul Dynasty. It's a big one, ZP, because Seoul Dynasty with a chance, if they 3-0, they can actually jump up to second in the standings, but at least they're on the hunt for that one of those last knockout stage positions.
Yeah, I don't think that's great news for the Valiant, where the Valiant, they're looking to bounce back after what was, in so many words, a very tough series yesterday. Coordination a little bit lacking. Yeah, we're going to bounce back. Seoul's a tough team, but maybe we could do something. And they find out, oh, by the way, Seoul has a reason to be bloodlusted. So, yeah, it's going to be a really tough job for the Valiant here, I'd say.
Yeah, with Seoul playing as well as they did in their series yesterday against NYXL, I would be surprised if it went Valiant's way, but hey, it's the APAC region, it's the East region. We have no idea what's going to happen. It's been a little bit crazy this year. But so on that note, go do your pick'ems. I know it's tough. I know it's tough for APAC. We feel it too, but you still want to have a chance to earn that $500 and perhaps a nice big May statue that's wonderfully sculpted, wonderfully painted. It'll look great on your desk or yacht or wherever you want to put it. So yeah, go do your pick'ems. Best of luck. Best of luck to us too. I think we've cast or cursed ourselves a few times trying to make some of these picks here, but let's take a look at the standings overall so you can see where things are at right now. Obviously, Philadelphia Fusion and the Chengdu Hunters are locked to get into the knockout rounds. Seoul Dynasty on the hunt. They're currently in there. They can secure their spot by doing well today, obviously. Shanghai Dragons, Charge, Excelsior, ZP, all a little bit in the hunt as well, though for teams like New York, it's kind of on the outside looking in, isn't it?
Yeah, for New York, I mean, I think the math, so I heard going into, is that they have to 3-0 today. So they don't just have to beat the Dragons. They have to dominate the Dragons just to stay in it where, I mean, look, it's APAC, crazier things have happened, and the Dragons have looked mortal this season. So, hey, look, it could happen, but it's a rough road to go. Even if you think you are significantly above another team, getting a 3-0 is difficult right now. Usually teams can get one map.
Yeah, seriously. That New York Dragons match later is going to be really fun to watch. I'm actually looking forward to that one as well, even though we're not casting it. But, Spark gave Dragons a run for their money yesterday. So I wonder how that one's going to go with New York, because I thought they played pretty well versus Seoul. But let's take a look at Seoul's roster going into our first map here. Seoul Dynasty, of course, is a team that did quite well last year. They were our runners-up this year. A little bit of a slow start, but last night, ZP, this squad played great, didn't it?
Yeah, it was good Seoul that showed up. It was playoff Seoul. Profit looked better than ever, where, last season people saw Profit and Echo and would kind of groan going, what are we going to get here? Because oftentimes it wasn't good. Instead, Profit looked dominant. And, I think the question is for Seoul in any regular season game, and I think it's still fair to say this up until, they've played well throughout most of the season, is that you still know what Seoul you're going to get on any given day. Historically, they're a team that's kind of a roller coaster to fall in the regular season. Lots of highs, lots of lows. But right now, they're on a high.
Yeah, they certainly are. A little bit of a change from yesterday. They started out Marvel on the control map yesterday. Today we've got Nepal. Gesture is coming in instead. Marvel played well, but again, you want to kind of match the tank with the map. And Nepal's going to have a lot more opportunities for the monkey to be jumping around, right? So Gesture makes sense for the pick there. I'm excited to watch Creative tonight. He played extremely well. Dare I say he out-Jonacked Jonak against NYXL last night. So I've got high hopes for this kid to keep up performances like that. And then, of course, Profit, it kind of just became the Profit show at certain points in the match yesterday. So we'll see to see if they can continue the momentum. They're certainly coming into this one hot, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And, I mean, towards the other end where you look at the Valiant, man, what more can you say other than this is a team where every now and then everything seemingly works together. You can see the individual talent that's there, but putting it together for even just a full map, let alone a full series, has been elusive for the Valiant. So, You know, we'll see if they can put it together here today up against Dynasty. But we don't have to wait any longer. We're getting to our first map.
That's right. I mean, to touch on the Valiant again, I mean, you look at that roster, too. You have players like Shou Chang, you have players like Molanran, Crystal. All of them have put on some good individual performances, but I just think back, ZP, to that Hanamura map yesterday and just how out of sync the whole team looked. And there's only so much you can change in 24 hours, so we'll see what they've been able to do with a little bit of practice time. I mean, honestly, hopefully you just take a little bit of a rest after that series yesterday and kind of regroup, do better against Seoul, but not an easy opponent for them.
No, not at all. But when you look at Valiant, I do like what the Valiant are coming out with here, where you think when Valiant has looked good, this is basically it, right? You put Crystal on the Ashe, you put Molanran on the Tracer, and you know, this is kind of where, okay, Valiant looks competitive in the setup. Meanwhile, for Seoul, I mean, they've been pretty versatile across the board, so whatever they run out with, I have faith they can play well. But one key difference from yesterday on Control, though, Gesture in rather than Marvel.
Yeah, that's right. Talked about that a little bit earlier. He has been playing the ball lately, playing that Hammond. Of course, we know how good his Winston is, but as they roll out on a Shrine here, we'll see what they can do. Valiant does get to the point a little bit earlier, but Seoul does have this little high ground, the side push they can come in from a little bit wider angle. Crystal, those look pretty good in the Ashe. So if he can find a couple shots early, they might be able to keep Seoul at bay. Oh, well, never mind. Creative. Getting bloodthirsty already. Only a few seconds in. There's first pick, CB.
Yeah, Crib did that just for you, duh. No one else. That was specifically for you. Crib realized you were casting the match, and
I appreciate it.
It's keeping up the fandom is what we saw there. And I mean,
he knows what I like.
Here's the thing too. One pick and already the Valiant, they just leave. It's a quick retreat and a pretty easy take for the Dynasty.
You know, I like that. I actually like that the Valiant backed up, regrouped. They were having trouble with that yesterday. They were having trouble staying close as a team. Ooh, Gesture getting a little bit low there. How's the push going to come together? Silver getting aggressive here. Ooh, going after Creative. The threat has been identified. Oh, and slams him down. Both sends down, though.
Yeah, both sends down the fight. Profit in the back line. That's scary. Silver 3, though, working here at the same point. Onimo out of the fight. Not a bad start here for the Valiant. Silver 3 going to be rolling back over. Here's the problem, though, Doa. All the while, the Dynasty are still full control. Profit got to the back again, and Profit just didn't stop him.
I mean, yeah, Fitz and Profit. You know, Fitz gets overlooked a little bit of the time, but he's a great hit scan player as well. Gesture's still alive, which is not something you see from Gesture too often, the being alive part at this point in the fight. But like you said, it's all about the Seoul DPS right now, trying to hold it. Profit's got that pulse bomb. Valiant knows it. How aggressive do they want to be here? Playing around the tertiary edges of the fight here. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Profit's going in.
Oh, he didn't get it.
Yeah, he not only denied by the Zen, didn't get the stick at the very end. Molanran goes in for it, also misses. So again, another opportunity for the Valiant here. 2 down for Seoul. We'll see how long Seoul can hold on. They are getting very close to both Rally and Transcendence, but Audible Cribs are out of the fight, so it's going to be Valiant getting the first take of the round.
Yeah, nice little staggered kills at the end there against Seoul Dynasty as well, and that's going to give Valiant the time they need to get a little bit extra percent going where Seoul may have been able to create a counter push a little bit quicker. But like you mentioned, ZP, the ults are the problem. Look at Seoul Dynasty right now. Nearly 5 out of 6 ults available. So one solid push, one solid teamfight win, and they could just take the round just like that.
Yeah, especially at 71%. It's going to be imperative that the Valiant somehow take this next fight. At least it's even on the support ult side of things. But Silver 3 under pressure. Discord Orb on Seoul hunting. But Silver 3 decides, no, I want to take this fight. Dives right in. Transcendence backing it up. Fits down very early in the fight. And Seoul, they fight Transcendence for Transcendence. They take down Muya. And suddenly, now a little bit more even. Graviton in. And Seoul, the fall through is going to be there.
I mean, it was a nice engage from Valiant, but a great response by Fitz on Seoul Dynasty just to send Bob to the point to start to take it, and that caused Valiant to get a little bit confused. You saw the attack that looked so good early on kind of break up a little bit, and Seoul Dynasty able to use the confusion to retake the point, win that fight, and now 90% almost for Seoul Dynasty. It's going to be tough for Valiant to push back in. They're going to need a hero play from Molanran here.
Yeah, he's waiting for it. Yeah, able to take down Creative early on. Now Pulse Bomb. Molanran going in. Oh, taken down.
Rip.
Absolutely rejected by the Zarya. It's 2 in for Seoul. Overtime not in progress. And Seoul just has to do a little bit of cleanup, and round 1 will be theirs.
Yeah, 2 for 2U on the Zarya, and as they push out the point, Valiant can't even get there, and that's Seoul Dynasty taking the first point in the series. 52% for Valiant. They had a little bit of a good push. I felt like already they looked a little bit more cohesive than we saw yesterday, but they're going to need to bring a lot more against this Seoul Dynasty team that's looking, like you mentioned earlier, playoff caliber right now.
Yeah, and really one of the things you sort of watch anytime Dynasty is playing, you kind of do your Prophet temperature check, which is what Prophet do we have today? And Prophet still looked very, very solid throughout that. The classic,
he's red hot.
The fight is, yeah, the fight is not over, Doa, until Prophet says the fight is over. And as it turns out, Prophet wasn't giving in a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, here we go. It's going to be Village, the next point here on Nepal, under attack by both of these teams. Silver 3 on the Reinhardt, and they're going to go ahead and use the teleporter to get there a little bit quicker. It's fine. Gesture on the Winston. This is why they brought him in over Marvel, but it's going to be the good old Winston versus Ryan battle in the main tanks. We'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah, and I mean,
Milan
between the two teams.
Chengdu spray there.
Yeah, gotta love it. But between the two teams, this is where, of course, you're going to see Valiant just try and play around the point, try and leverage the team being tankier, whereas for Seoul, it's all about, hey, let's let Prophet find someone on the far, and already Prophet finding some meaty rockets, gets high B. That's a great start.
I mean, that's enormous, right? I mean, you get the kill on high B. He's got the immortality field all the way, and that means that it's a very mortal Valiant that Prophet's going to try to deal with. He gets aggressive there, maybe a little bit too aggressive on the point, but it does help Seoul Dynasty take it. So let's break that down a little bit. I mean, when you bring in Farah on a point like this, you want to be the defender, right? It can be a little bit difficult to take the point. If you're going to do it, you need a pick like Prophet was able to find. And now that the point is theirs, they can just rain rockets down. They can play a lot of zone control with this Farah, with this Sombra in the backlines harassing. And it's a good start for Dynasty.
Yeah, and even better, Doa, their ult economy should be unreal. Not only is getting through the Prophet obstacle course just a terror in and of itself, but Fitz is going to have EMP very soon for the next fight, which could just ruin you if you do get past that obstacle course.
Right. They're giving a lot of space to Valiant here. As we saw Valiant pushing in to take a little bit of percentage. Try to retake it here. They're getting there. Soul needs to get back on the point a little bit. Crystal on the McCree. Oh, but there comes a barrage.
Yeah, Prophet landed the barrage in the back, ends up falling, but that is more than enough for the Dynasty to keep control. And even better, Fitz, I mean, he didn't have the EMP built, but he is going to have it built for the next fight. So this is so tough for the Valiant, where, by the way, this is the last round they have to try and bring it back.
Yep, and now you swap. With Prophet, you're going to swap over the Tracer here, and you're going to just do what you do best on that Tracer. Just get in the back lines, harass people, try to find a pick or something on a tank. We'll see what they can do. Mullenron coming in, right, EMP used, didn't hit anyone.
I think it got Silver 3. I think that's what part of why Silver 3 just got
I think you might be right. Yep.
Yeah, but that's still a good use of an EMP, right? You get rid of the main tank immediately, you make it a quick 6-on-5, and then you have faith that you can just skirmish out the rest of the fight. 81% to 18 right now, and I mean, Valiant, they're on their final attempt, and it won't be a good one, Duh.
No, it won't. I mean, you've got the self-destruct, you've got the rally, but those are not two ultimates that really synergize super well together. Oh, no, and creative again. You just cannot get near the Zenyatta. He is so aggressive, and he is so accurate. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Jesh in the back line lies down the minefield, and that's lying down a recipe for success, perhaps, for Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah, we have the Transcendence in. Ooh! Pulse Bomb going to be eaten up by Shochang, but they still need more. Dynasty just swarming around the point. Transcendence in. They don't care at all about the remaining members on the point, and this is a full team effort from the Dynasty, and map 1, it's going to be theirs.
Yep, that is correct. Seoul Dynasty with the cleanup here. That's a team kill and a clean 2-0 for Seoul Dynasty. Valiant barely getting any points, or any percent rather, going in either of those rounds. And you see a little bit of despondency, some laughs, though, over on the side of Seoul. And I got to say, I mean, in the game right now, you and I can see that Creative got the play of the game there, but what a boss. Like, we talked about how great he looked on the Zenyatta and just every flex support he touched yesterday, but again today already, just clicking heads. Transcendences is the perfect time. Like, Creative is quickly becoming my new favorite flex support. What do you think, ZP?
Yeah, Creative is playing out of his mind right now, and look, it's a bad omen for the Valiant, that a team that's been relying on out-of-control Tracer play, where if your Tracer is losing matchups versus M because Creative is just on point, it's going to be a long night, or I guess more accurately, it's going to be a short night.
Yeah, short night so far. At least the Seoul Dynasty have the 1-0 lead. Quick break, and when we come back, we'll see if the LA Valiant can tie it up. Don't go anywhere. This is Overwatch League.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by State Farm. For auto, home, or renters insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League, and by IBM, the official cloud and AI partner of the Overwatch League.
What is happening? Unbelievable. Alarm, the first one dead. Carpe dead as Gesture just cleaves them all down with his fists.
Where's EMP? There it is. Hits a good 4 or 5 people. Also, Monk stunned as well as Silver drops the Shatter, and that's going to be Valiant winning a pretty decisive team fight.
No, Prophet finds Mondu, takes out the pulse bomb. Prophet just keeping firmly from the Tracer to the Dynasty. Defending territory here. Shochang, he builds up his energy.
Oh my god!
Deadeye used by Carpe to try to zone them back, but Shochang doesn't give a damn. He plows on. They get the kill, and suddenly this time bank has been saved.
Welcome back to Overwatch League. Doa and ZP here with you late night, or, you know, maybe midday. Kind of depends on where on the globe you are. Either way, in North America, it's late at night or early in the AM, and we have just seen Seoul Dynasty take a fairly smooth map over the LA Valiant. I will give the Valiant this, ZP. They did look a little bit more together, a little bit more cohesive than we saw yesterday, but at the end of the day, I mean, you've just got so many stars on Seoul Dynasty, so many great individual players that it's tough. Even if you do have that togetherness, you're not making the hero plays like Creative, like Prophet, like Gesture, and even Fits a little bit in that last map were.
Yeah, I mean, the Seoul roster this year is absolutely stacked, and they're also playing well in the regular season, which isn't always the case so far. Looking really good. But also on top of that, let's not forget yesterday, Control was the best Valiant look. That was the map type where Valiant nearly took the first map. They kind of let it get away from them. It was when we got to the next game modes that things really started falling apart from the Valiant. So what I'm curious here is, as we head into an assault map, is there going to be improvement for the Valiant? Because it literally cannot get worse than the Hanamura we saw yesterday. It cannot. So for the Valiant, at the very least, they could go up at least. They could go up.
I agree. I think that Hanamura attack yesterday from Valiant was one of the toughest things to watch. One of the toughest things I've had to watch and cast yet in Overwatch League in my years of doing it. I know I took a year off, but still, you know, we're here for 3 out of the 4 years, and that was right up there. That was right up there. Yeah, do I dare say it was shades of Season 1 Shanghai Dragons level there, which I'm sorry. I got to say it. It's just where things are at right now. If you're a Valiant fan, like we said, I think there's some individual stuff to be excited about, but they just got to get it together on a team, and we'll see if they can do a little better on 2CP here on Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, I think the closest thing you got to that level of play that we saw from the Valiant on Hanamura last season, well, it would be a matchup known sort of to the community as the El Clasico, the Houston v. Boston 7-map series that had no, like, you go, saw a 7-map series, it's awesome. It's like, well, it was the stuff of legend, but call it awesome, I'm not so sure.
It was a memorable time, that's for sure. But checking out Temple of Anubis here, we've got Seoul Dynasty on the defense. We have LA Valiant on the attack, and you know, all assault maps, all 2 control point maps are a little bit tough on the attack side. Temple of Anubis is one of those ones where you've got the choke, but at least you've got a couple avenues you can sort of sneak through. You can create some good pushes. You can even be very aggressive and go for a dive. And with the double bubble look that Valiant's showing us coming out of spawn, that might be the plan. We'll see as they roll out.
And for Valiant, you know, they're going to be running Milanron on the Echo once more, where it looked much improved yesterday on control, but Assault Doa, it is a different beast.
Sure is. We are on the Ana. Just trying to build up that nano boost for a stronger dive later. So a lot of this early on, you're going to see like Silver 3 go in, do a little bit of damage, take a little bit of damage, help Ouya build up that nano boost, and as long as the Ana can stay alive for Valiant, they should be able to get a push going fairly shortly. That is an aggressive dive for Silver 3. Gets hit by the sleep dart, gets taken out. Oh, Silver 3.
And this is what was really harmful to the Valiant yesterday, is that Silver 3 would go in and one way or another would not be super well supported. It'd be Silver 3 on his own and he'd just get clapped. Speaking of clapped, Prophet with the focusing beam takes that Milanron in the back. And once more, a minute off the clock. And the Valiant's looking a little bit lost right now, Doa.
Yep. You know, we're seeing a little bit of what we saw yesterday too, right? Where Silver 3 and either Crystal or Milanron would go in for a little bit of aggression, a little bit of scouting, try to pull the defense apart, try to stretch it out a little bit and pave the way for the rest of the team to walk in. And you know, it's going about as well as it has on Hanamura here. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, Ouya's got the nano boost, but Silver 3 still a ways off from that primal rage.
He's going, oh,
just sleep dart. Creative. Sick sleep dart.
It was good for creative. Silver 3 also just made it easy. Okay, so woke him up. Silver 3 a little bit angry about getting put to sleep. It gets his revenge. Both supports down. Silver 3. Oh man, don't go to him in the morning. That's all I gotta say. But all that still said, Doa, Seoul is not giving up the point yet. Prophet's still floating around.
Well, when you take someone out, someone else is ready to step up. That's kind of been what we've started to see from Seoul Dynasty. If the supports go down, the DPS step up. If the tank goes down, the supports keep the DPS alive. Like it's been just great team play in that where, you know, if there's a hole in the ship, somebody's there to plug it right away. That's it. Grab gets used by Shochang.
Yeah, just solo grab and the dragon in when you really want to take down a Zarya, I suppose. Yeah. But Seoul, they're going to res back up. They're going to be up to a full 6 here. Crystal looking for anything on the Hangzhou. About to get a gesture in his face, or maybe not, but...
They didn't quite get there, did he? But it's okay, because the DPS damage did. Silver 3 down again, and Prophet in the back of this, chasing down the Echo. It's Echo v Echo, Mortal Kombat! Milanron just self-destructs, apparently there.
Yeah. Well, you can't give the other person elimination if you eliminate yourself first, Noah. That's how it works. But now we're down to we're down to a minute 10 left. Seoul's not even given up a single tick on the point, despite, you know, that moment where Silver 3 actually made a good bit of room. So this could be the final crack at it now for the Valiant.
Yeah, I think with less than a minute remaining, like you said, ZP, this is going to be about it. You got to use that nano boost. Milanron's going to have the Echo. Shochang down, though, to you. Comes in and sends him back to spawn again. What more can you say?
Yeah, that was good economical grab. And I mean, the only upside here, Doa, the only upside for the Valiant is that was so decisive, so quick, that they get one more attempt to head in, but it is not going to be an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination.
I love how you look at the bright side, ZP. You're such a positive person. We need that. We need that in this world right now.
I have to find something here, Doa. It is so hard in this matchup right now, but I'm trying.
Valiant needs it more than anything. Yeah, Valiant looking for somebody to copy here. Prophet gonna go ahead and copy the Ana. Oh, the sleep dart! What?
Again? And by the way,
sure. It's styling
sorry,
time.
I was really wishing she was not woken up in that moment.
It's styling time. All right, yeah, why not give the nano boost a creative? Oh my gosh. Oh, the disrespect. You hate to see it, but at the same time, you love to see it. Last-ditch effort for Silver 3.
Yep, Primal on the point, and yeah, on one hand, say maybe Seoul regrets things. Okay, Graham's down. There's the part where is the door going to get open because of the showboating? The door is far more open than it should be right now, Doa. Creative, though, is going to get resurrected. Anonymous down for the res. Fitz, though, on the side. Prophet still floating around. Not at all over in the least, but again, this is far more than it should be right now. Silver 3 in the ball through. The long run goes in. Seoul, what have you done?
Dude, if I am the Seoul Dynasty coaches right now, I am pretty upset because they had this map, they had this round in the bag, nothing taken on the control point at all. Fitz does take a Mullen run, but that's it. And now Valiant with a new lease on life, I would be, there's gonna be repercussions for the Seoul Dynasty players. Look, coach after this.
There could be repercussions, but going to look at the bright side, I think Seoul just wanted to extend the broadcast airtime and give more tokens to our very loyal viewers. That's right, chat. That was for you. That was for you from Seoul. The showboating entirely planned out.
Wow. I didn't know they were that kind. It really is something else, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing.
All part of the plan here. However, it does mean they have to defend at point B for 2 minutes gesture. Getting the nano, and oh boy, Shocheng does not want to be here, and down he goes.
All right, so Shocheng getting taken out more or less by gesture. A little bit of self-destruct, but we'll give that one a gesture anyway. Prophet, seeing if he can get a couple exit kills here on the way out. And I don't think Seoul Dynasty is going to be showboating as much on this point.
I would hope not.
This is
that wasn't good.
Yeah. A little bit, teeny bit embarrassing after the way that first point went. You know, it was great. If it would have worked out, if they would have won it, that would have been such a swag way to end that round, but not work out at all. There we go. All right, Zarya ultimate to you. Sets it up. Prophet and Fitz knocks him down.
Yeah, being clean, precise execution off the Graviton. Now a minute 30 left to go, but you know, the trouble here for Seoul is that as much as Valiant has been struggling, Doa, you take a look at the ult side of things, your Valiant will have, in theory, a good fight coming up here. Seoul has put this match in far more risk than they should, especially when, don't forget, Doa, it has to be a 3-0. They want to keep the higher seeding.
Crystal is lurking behind the team, and he's got a pulse bomb. If he gets a good one, this could end up being one of the most embarrassing rounds for a team ever in Overwatch League. It all depends on Crystal's pulse bomb here.
Waiting.
They have no idea.
They have no idea Crystal's here.
They don't know. Oh, he misses.
Does he get it?
He gets creative anyway. It's a good start.
Close enough. The pick off on the creative. The door is now open for the Valiant. Silver 3. Again, the support in the corner. Crystal with another pick onto Toyu. And now, Silver 3 over and in. Vitsa, Bob out.
Yeah, Bob
now we'll see if Seoul can climb their way back in, but this is a good opening. The long run, though, super low kick. Duplicate off the time, and Fitz saving the Dynasty in their moment of need.
Yeah, that's right. Prophet this time copying the Zarya, not going after the Ana, who knew Ouya down as well. And they do defend, and now with just about 10 seconds left, and only the Graviton Surge for Shocheng, who's going back to spawn. It looks like this round is finally going to come to an NZP. It was silly, but Seoul managed to keep Valiant from getting any of the progress here on point B.
Which is important when you get to the extra rounds. It means that if the Dynasty just capture first Doa, they have guaranteed themselves that they will not lose the map at a minimum, which is important when they're going for the 3-0. But, oh man, the feel when you play with your food and then you just go, but why? Because
like I said, if I'm a coach for Seoul, I'm like, guys, come on. You can't win playoff matches if you're doing things like that. I know it feels like a time to showboat, and it nearly worked out, and it was fun. I appreciate it, but you know that got a little bit too close for comfort there.
Yeah, it really did. And look, the other thing too is that why play around on Assault of all maps? It is the most variable game type in all of Overwatch. It is where even if things are going well, even if you overmatch your opposition, look, you could be dominating the entire game. You only need 2 good team fights, Doa, on the offense to put yourself in a position to win the map. So even if you lose 9 out of 10 fights, you just got to roll the dice and put in 2 good fights in a row, and all of a sudden the map is yours. So Yeah, it's just not the time to play around.
And you see all these Chengdu Hunters sprays from Valiant. They're kind of the avatars of Chengdu right now, because remember, if Seoul Dynasty does get the 3-0, they will knock Chengdu out of the top 2 in the standings. And so right now, Valiant trying to fight for another team in the East region apparently right now. But they're trying to channel that energy. I think they're going to need to do a little bit better job of that. But maybe Seoul will give them an opportunity. Who knows?
Well, the other thing, too, is that when you're looking at potential tiebreakers in the season, it's still really important for Valiant to try and get whatever wins they can, because at the rate they're going, though, they're going to be an edge case to get into the final playoffs if they're in it at all, and every match really is going to matter for them.
It really does, yeah. All right, so Seoul looking for picks. Fitz on the Widowmaker. Prophet, of course, on the Echo. Nice anti on Silver 3. That's going to lead to a first kill, and now Seoul, we'll see how aggressive they want to get off of this.
The very easy answer.
Yep.
Gesture does not let that situation go awry. Prophet just melts Blonderon out of the sky.
It's like I forgot who was on the team for a second. Yep.
Yeah. Do you think Gesture has any form of retreat in his body? No. The answer is no.
I don't think the S key is on his keyboard. I'm pretty sure he pries that off before he starts playing.
Yeah.
That's going to be easy point A take for Seoul, and all they need is just one tick on B to win the map.
Yep, that's a lot of time, though. It's a lot of time, a little under 6 minutes to get 33%. So, Seoul might have messed around a little bit, but I don't think they're going to pay any real price for it.
That fits over in the Sombra. Okay, so swapping things up a little bit. Again, it's all about just a little pick to win a little team fight to win the map. That's all they need, and one hack can do that. You don't even need the EMP at this point to make that happen. But look, they're going to have a nano pretty soon. Prophet actually goes ahead and swaps the monkey right away.
Winston.
Yep, that's right. Going to go for the double primal rage.
Oh, this is not good. You don't want to be back here. Prophet going, I can win the 2. Have a little bit of juggling here in the back. Still, though, the support's there. Doesn't immediately finish off. Silver 3, though, somehow gets caught as Prophet's trying to get away. To you. Gets a long run down. And Seoul, I don't know if they have the health for this fight here, though. I think they might get pushed back.
Yeah, they got to back off. Somehow Gesture died during the beginning of that. We were watching Prophet, so I didn't quite see how it happened. But clearly the plan was to go for, double primal rage with a nano boost in there somewhere. They did the smart thing, though. They saw things weren't going great. Gesture dropped early. They saved the ultimates. Now they're going to go in with 4. A lot of ultimates coming online for Valiant as well. So definitely some opportunities. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on Silver 3, though, right away.
Silver 3, please. He's so close to the primal. All right. Yeah, I mean, that was nearly the same old story again. Silver 3 getting picked up earlier. But now Gesture gets an nano boost, heads on in, and they're going to contain Gesture, but at what cost? Somehow Ouya still gets hit in all of it. 2 early pickoffs here for the Dynasty, and they almost have the 33% though, just about there. As you see some juggling on the side, the Dynasty take Anubis with ease.
Yes, they do. Seoul Dynasty with a quick 2-0 in the series. Could have been quicker, ZP. We gotta admit. Yeah. I mean, that was some swag moves pulled out at the end of that first defensive round for Seoul that didn't go that well. It was a little bit of comedy relief in what would otherwise be a pretty short match. But there you go. 2-0 for Seoul Dynasty. Valiant. Anything they can do, ZP?
Yeah, I mean, continue lulling the Dynasty into a false sense of security. I don't know. I mean, it helps when you're supposed to be going up against Nano Boost at the end and the Nano's just used for no good reason. I mean, look, that was a tactical advantage of the Valiant. Still wasn't enough.
I mean, it's the only way you get to see a Nano boosted Ana in a match, in a professional match, right? You copy their Ana, you build the charge, then you nano boost your own Ana. It was a great plan. I appreciate that. I saw what they were going for. It was pretty cool. They got the win anyway. No harm, no foul, as they say. Although, again, the coaches may not agree with me on that one. But we'll see what happens. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll see if Seoul Dynasty can close it out with a clean 3-0 move up in the standings, or if Valiant will give us a little bit more of a series. Don't go anywhere, Overwatch League. We'll return right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by State Farm. For auto, home, or renters insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. So much flavor, it's a mind crunch. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Hey, we're back here at the Overwatch League. I gotta ask, ZP, we're here in Lijiang Tower. You know, after you parked, you had to like come up to the office. Like, how was it getting through the control point today? Was there a lot of action? Was it kind of dangerous? Or did you make it through okay?
Honestly, it was pretty light so far. You know, you get the first match of the day,
right.
There's not a whole lot of people waiting for what's a little bit later in the day. I think a lot of people thought Seoul would have this one, so we didn't quite attract the crowds as normal. So my commute here, Doha, totally smooth.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Well, it hasn't been so smooth for the LA Valiant, unfortunately. They are down 0-2 to the Seoul Dynasty. Seoul definitely not taking this series maybe as seriously as some other ones we've seen in the past, but it certainly has been an entertaining one. We're going to go to Blizzard World next for perhaps our final map, unless the Valiant can somehow turn this one around. But, I mean, it just looks like Seoul is just head and shoulders above the Valiant today.
Yeah, Seoul is looking very good, even with self-inflicted errors at points where, I mean, what else do you call the middle of Anubis aside from charity for the viewers for tokens, which I stand by that theory. I think that Seoul's just being a fan-favorite team right now. But, I mean, look, all memes about that aside, they're dominating. They are crushing. The Valiant right now are not close whatsoever to the Dynasty, and they got one more map to, you know, get everything in alignment, as sometimes Valiant has done, but are they going to be able to do it for a reverse sweep? It's super unlikely, Noah. Super unlikely.
Yeah. I wish that would have worked out for them at the end of that round, though, on Anubis, like the Ana play, because it was so perfect, because Prophet swap, he copied the Ana, he hit like an amazing sleep dart, actually, built the Nano in like Nano Boost in like 2 seconds, and then Nano there. If that would have worked, that would have gone down as one of the greatest like swag disrespect plays in the history of Overwatch. But instead, it's like, you know, when you're trying to spin like 5 basketballs on like sticks and then you just drop it and look like kind of a fool. But no, it was entertaining either way.
I'm glad you mentioned basketball. To me, it's more so, you know, the famous GIF where the guy shoots the ball up and then just, you know, turns around, you know, showboats that he hit it, and then the ball, of course, just bounces unceremoniously off the rim. Yeah, that's kind of what we got from Seoul there, I'd say. But
I would agree.
We're moving on. It's Blizzard World, and it is going to be the Valiant on the defense first. They're running what has sort of become their bread and butter composition. So you look at this, you go, okay. Maybe it'll work well. Okay, that's training.
Changed.
Yeah.
The sprays have changed, ZP. It was Chengdu Hunters. Now the spray has changed from Molanran to the Seoul Dynasty. He's given up. No. He's tactically crouching on it. Oh my goodness.
You know what, though? I understand it
late
because
night.
The way the Valiant have been playing, that's the only tactical crouching on a Seoul Dynasty affiliate thing that Molanran might get done in this series. Let's be real.
I think you're right. I think he'll enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah, he's practicing for maybe someday getting to do the real thing.
Yeah, that's the best I got for him.
Poor Molanran. All right. Well, Fitz on the aggressive stance here with the Sombra. As you can see, Seoul Dynasty on the attack here in Blizzard World. TU takes a little bit of damage here, but Fitz looking for that hack. Doesn't want to hack the world. Oh no, he only needs to hack the Sigma, maybe.
Oh, that's exactly what he was looking for. You called it, and it's not someone 3 down first. Instead, it's Shochang tactically assassinated by the Dynasty as Prophet. So much room to work with here. Already 2 down. Fitz might be taken out, but the door has been open now for the Dynasty. And I got to tell you, though, I think they're keeping it open. His Prophet is just on the course, heading to and fro against all the players on the Valiant.
Yeah, that was close. We almost got like a pretty sick kill there, actually. I'll cheer for any Zenyatta, but at the end of the day, that's going to be a pretty quick point A take for the Seoul Dynasty, and they have a nano boost to push into point B here. They're going to have a pulse bomb as well. And I feel like we're seeing Seoul tighten things up a little bit. You know, we saw Prophet at the end of that with an opportunity to chase down Silver 3, but he was about half health, maybe about 40%. He's like, you know, I'm going to go back. I'm going to wait, get the health pack. I'm going to make sure we secure this. So I think there were some words passed down from the leadership on Seoul Dynasty about how they should maybe play this one a little bit tighter. I only guess. I don't know, but I'm just going to make a wild guess here that happened.
Yeah, I mean, the coaches might have come in and said, you know, just because you did that in the last map, you're going to play this by the book. We want to see max power. Okay. Well, yeah, this time actually punishing Prophet. as the Valiant put together a good first 2 opening pickoffs. And with Gesture and Profit down, I mean, that's the heart and soul of the Seoul Dive, no pun intended. So it's gonna be.
Oh, no, I mean, you're totally right. They tried to go for the nano boost play on the Gesture, and you know what? If there is one Achilles heel for Seoul Dynasty with this style of play, is that it's pretty straightforward. You kind of know what you're in for, right? You know Gesture's going to come in with the nano boost. You know Profit's going to be lurking off to the side. So if you can handle them, you can win fights like that. So a spark of hope, perhaps. Bubble on the monkey as Gesture dives in again, just trying to create some space to push that payload a little bit more.
Yeah, and the next time he's going to primal Fitz though. That fight early. Gesture, quick punish. Doesn't give time for the tactical crouching. Oh, there's a stick. Profit comes in for the back. Special delivery on the crystal, and that's all Seoul should need here, Doa, to get significant progress.
Yeah, Crystal just stops moving immediately. He's like, all right, well, this is happening. This is my life now.
Goodbye.
Gesture again, just creating space with that primal rage for the payload to push a little bit farther forward. Creative close to another nano boost as well. So they're going to have the tools to finish this one out. We'll see. Molanrod down. Fitz finds a headshot there.
Yeah, a little bit of revenge here for Fitz. Back on in. Easy 6-on-5 right now for the Dynasty. And Fitz, just a shooting gallery. Here comes the Deadeye. Transcendence might not say that, but you know,
good block.
If it's still in progress, yeah, you're not going to fall. Gesture, though, cleaning up the back line, and this is going to be a quick point B for the Dynasty.
Yeah, quick point A. It's going to be a quick point B. Valiant did manage to win one fight, but it looks like that's the only one they're going to be able to get. The Silver 3 falls, and the point B is taken. Yeah, the little known Zen, well, not little known. If you play Zenyatta, you should know that you can block a Deadeye with your Transcendence. We demonstrating that pretty well right there. But also demonstrating why you don't want to push up too far forward as Zenyatta, too, as he gets taken out at a pretty inopportune time to stop this payload.
Alrighty, so 4 minutes left now for the Dynasty. Plenty of time. Though it is Blizzard World Point C, where teams often will get slowed up. Not sure if it'll be the case this time, though, but if it is, it's going to be the Graviton from Shochang that's on deck.
Yeah, and we know he's got good ones. He's definitely one of the bright spots on this Valiant roster, I believe. And he's had some good Zarya ultimates this season for sure. Oh, yeah, creative. Ooh, all right. Molanrod gets a big pick on the creative. That's going to slow Seoul down quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really be super aggro with your Ana down. The healing's not going to be there. I mean, Seoul still might do it anyways, but Gesture Discord Orb on him as Gesture's rolling, going, please, someone heal me. Booyah, though. Gets caught. That's able to get it. Seoul still being aggressive down the Ana. It won't be down for long. Creative about back to the fight here, Doa. And Fitz waiting for the opportunity. Oh, there's Graviton from 2U on the side. And Fitz there to clean up.
Crystal and Hybe were down already. Fitz gets 3. He's just out here death matching as the rest of the team plays the objective. And Seoul Dynasty continues to grind forward here. That was just a good grab into a good primal rage. The gravity slap. I don't know what you call it. There's got to be a name for that combo.
You just keep him in there where normally get pushed away instead. Gravity keeps you in. And okay, Fitz getting pretty aggressive here. Somehow go live the nano. The heals. Fitz survives what should have been a punish for that. Oh, no. The sleep, the Deadeye. You woke him up. How'd you wake him up? Well, he's gone anyways, though. He's gone.
It's getting a little bit silly again. Fitz had no right to survive that, but he just barely did. And now they've got the rally to push in with the rest of this. Can they get it done, ZP?
We'll have to see. Once more, Gesture into the back. Profit. They'll find Shochang. And now, just looking for a little bit extra. Transcendence is faded.
Nice
There's the stick. Goodbye. And now Profit just looking to put this one away.
Yep. That's right. They're going to get it done with 2 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock. Solid push for Seoul Dynasty. Really Valiant only stopping them up about halfway through point B for a little bit, but that was about it. Seoul Dynasty continuing to push, and I saw a little bit of the cockiness towards the end of that one. I saw Fitz out there just death matching. I mean, he played it pretty risky, but they followed through, right? I mean, and that shows the difference between these two teams right now. I mean, they can be that aggressive and make it work. They're just that much better, I think, right now.
Yeah, and again, this is a pretty big difference across the board. 2 minutes and 9 seconds, Doa, for Blizzard World. That is a fast time. I mean, realistically, teams don't even complete point C a pretty significant portion of the time, and completing it with this little time bank oftentimes is unheard of. So Seoul is well positioned to sweep the Valiant out of the series and get that number 2 seed. So see if the Valiant, if they are trying to not just play for themselves, but do a solid to the Hunters. We'll see if they can put together a good attack, but attack has been their weakness here, Doa, because that requires some serious coordination that often has been lacking for the Valiant.
Yep. What's going on here? Hanging out in the tank.
What'd you say to me?
Testing out the shield. Yep, it works. Good news. I think Valiant's going to need a siege tank to stop Seoul Dynasty here.
Yeah. I mean, if they could activate the tank, that would be the crazy X factor no one saw coming. Not even the developers. It wasn't even hard.
All right. Valiant on the attack. They got a big job ahead of them. Big time bank for Seoul Dynasty. Valiant, if they're going to push, they got to push fast.
Yeah, it has to be very quick where they have to put together multiple just flawless team fights. Already though, got the Prophet versus Silver 3 battle, but you know, it's not quite even. Silver 3 calling for a little bit back up there in the long run.
Yep.
Now Silver 3 rotating the other way, and you know, this is the thing here for the Valiant. Can they back up Silver 3 as he goes in? Silver 3 right now, looking for 2U. As everything takes place in this tiny corner. Crystal though already down, Gesture punished, 5-on-5. Not the worst for the Valiant so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think they kind of wanted to pull it into that little room there so that they could use their Brigitte a little bit more, but 2U and the rest of Seoul just a little bit ready for that. Gesture goes down, but it's okay. He'll be able to get back fast on the Winston. Molanran getting staggered there as well. Nice shot from Creative, and Seoul Dynasty off to a good start on the defense already. I liked what Silver 3 was attempting. He was trying to just push the Zarya out into the open to give his team a little bit more shooting, and yeah, the last chance. You gotta do it for the Chengdu Hunters.
Yep,
Seoul gets a 3-0, they're moving up.
Yep, do it for the Pandas, I suppose. 2.5 minutes left to go. Silver 3
Trying
again. 2U has been the priority number 1 to a degree. Trying to isolate him off to the side, but he's not really taking a whole lot of damage. Shrugging a lot of it off, getting healed for the rest. Fitz, Bob already in reserve. Shocheng though, able to coordinate with Silver 3. They get the pick off. Bob goes back. Yeah, this is still really, really good for Seoul. If Fitz could just go around. Prophet, he's waiting here, Doa. He's primed. He's good to go. The pulse bomb, it's ready. What's it going to stick on? Moving forward, and that's nothing. Doesn't get anything. In fact, the Valiant are coalescing on the point. Silver 3 with another, and this has been a very good fight for the Valiant tank line.
All right. All right, that works. Seoul Dynasty gets pushed off of point A. You know, second time was a charm apparently in terms of just dislodging 2U and taking him out early. You saw that was sort of the key to victory. That was Silver's mission, was just to harass the Zarya and get the Zarya out in the open to be taken out. No more shields, no more point A for Seoul Dynasty. So the payload is moving.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been tough on the Valiant so far, but they put together a good team fight there. We saw coordination between Silver 3 and Shocheng, and now 4 minutes left to go. I mean, they can keep this map in contest, especially if they can get this first fight here on B.
Yeah, I mean, Valiant trying to play spoiler. I mean, getting that first win is important, of course, but, you know, also just, you know, trying to prove that there's something there, right? Trying to prove that this roster can show some good maps. We've seen a couple of them here and there, but to be able to take a map off Seoul Dynasty, I think would be pretty significant for the Valiant. But time bank-wise, they got to make sure this payload keeps moving.
It just slowed down, though. They should have been engaged by now, and the Valiant, I feel like they're just thinking, how do we approach this? And time's just going off the clock here. That was a long time with nothing happening, Doa.
Yeah, I mean, I think Seoul Dynasty is being really smart right now. They're backing off. They're playing very passively. They get the kill on Silver 3. This is what you want to do if you're Seoul Dynasty. You want to wait for Valiant to make the mistake, because they probably will. And that's Prophet with a 2K Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, set up by 2U on the side, and good graviton, good follow through for Prophet, but it wasn't even a fair fight. Silver 3 just got caught early, and more than anything else, you saw the confusion from the Valiant, where for the composition that the Valiant are running, though, that should have been a much quicker engage, and it stalled out.
Yeah, I mean, it's Seoul Dynasty basically took what they saw from Valiant on the 2 CP maps, on the Assault maps, and applied it to point B here, where they said, all right, let's just give them space, because we know Valiant gets a little bit shaky when it comes to coordinating those engages. So we put it on them, we make them make the move, and then we try to take advantage of the errors. And it worked out great.
This flashback's on him. I mean, Molanran just kind of took that fight in the middle of nowhere while the rest of Valiant wasn't ready to go in. However, the punish on Fitz on top ends up happening. So it starts at 6v5, now 5v5. Silver 3 to the back. Will they get one more? Meanwhile, though, Prophet got to the back of his own, got down Crystal. Creative finishes off Silver 3, who is hunting him down the back line. Makes you wonder who's hunting whom.
I know, it was close. I mean, you saw Gesture wanted to land between the two of them and separate them to help the team carve off one, but coach gun. Crystal was ready to knock that monkey back into the air. And then it became skeet shooting, so he had to get out.
So the large amount of time that Valiant had going to point B, a lot of it is simply wasted away here. Doa, only a minute 45 left as... What? What's going on there?
Oh, all right. So that happened.
Yeah. Crystal typing? Or, I mean, there was no movement there. There's... Huh?
All right. Hello, wall.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, clearly he was looking at something else at the time. Prophet just finding a good angle, getting the drop on him.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like look back. I kind of look back and just see the movement ahead of time there.
Yeah.
Prophet's
getting a little bit crazy here.
Yeah, see where Crystal is. See if Crystal stops moving again. I think we'll do that all the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, 1 minute remaining for the LA Valiant to get this point B going.
Not a whole lot of time. Fitz opens up with the bomb. Silver 3. Powell driving in. Soul very healthy. And again, the grab's on out from Soul. And Crystal gets punished. And I don't even think he was in the grab. That was on the other side. That Prophet now says, oh, there's a grab? I'm going to hop on in.
Oh.
Goes to the pulse bomb. But why? Why? That was showboating. That was
Prophet
not
is,
necessary.
all right, Prophet. All right. You're going for the plays. I know you want the highlight reel. You've got. Don't you have enough highlight reels already, Prophet? Come on.
Well, there's highlight reels.
Yeah.
So, there's highlight reels and there's stat padding. That was the quarterback going for like the 80-yard bomb at the end of the fourth quarter when you're already leading by 3. It was just you don't need the stick stat, Prophet. You don't need it.
Yeah, you know what happens then? The other team comes back and scores, right? So you got to be careful. That payload's moving a little bit. Seoul Dynasty has a rally. They have the nano. They got to put together a defensive stop if they want to win the series right here.
Meanwhile, Dynasty on the verge of getting the sweep, on the verge of getting that #2 seed. The Valiant, Silver 3 in, Silver 3 super
Silver
low.
3.
Gets Minefield out, but Ivy's already down. Prophet just chases Silver 3 down. Can't put too much of Silver 3. Had to keep the payload in contest, but now 3 members of Valiant out. Overtime ticks down, and that's going to be it. The series brief, the domination extreme. Dynasty.
Yeah.
Showing why they're the #2 seed.
As the great Red Eye once said, brutal, savage, wrecked. I don't think there's any other way to describe that from Seoul Dynasty over the LA Valiant there. That was a clean 3-0 for them, and kind of doing it with style. We got to see some fun stuff in that one. That was a fun series actually, ZP. It was short but sweet. But the big news is for Seoul, they're able, I believe, to move up in the standings. We'll check that a little bit later. I don't want to do the caster math. I'm afraid of doing the caster math, but I do know, ZP, a 3-0 is a good thing.
It is a very good thing, and also it's what you expect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we just got confirmation production.
Right. Yep, +7, so Seoul will be +7 map differential. They'll be up to #2. So big move for them. Big win for the Seoul Dynasty, and really kind of coming alive, actually. That match against New York yesterday, I feel like, was kind of a turning point for the Dynasty, where they kind of became this playoff team a little bit early this year. So if you're a Seoul fan, certainly something to be excited about.
Yeah, I think right now, Seoul fans have been through a lot. They know that, okay, we can expect this team to perform when it gets to the postseason. Don't always know what to expect in the regular season, but right now, it's been a treat for Seoul fans, I think. And, I think they can start getting excited as we look towards the May Melee really coming into full swing.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be watching with much excitement myself. Let's talk about our player of the match. It's going to be Prophet. Yeah, we gave it to him, even though there were the shenanigans on Anubis and all that, but he still played great today. He got the damage done when it needed to be done, got the kills that he needed to get, and, in the end, a big part of what makes this Seoul Dynasty team so successful.
Yeah, I mean, what more can you say about Prophet? I mean, not just playing well within this given series, but one of the best players in Overwatch history. There's not a lot of players you can look at and go, you've been around since, pretty much the beginning of the Overwatch League, going even before that, and you've just consistently been top in class. I mean, this is a game where it's difficult to stay on top. How many veterans have we seen leave the league after just 1 year, let alone the amount of time that Prophet has been in? And every year he continues to impress, and this is more the same. Yeah, there's a little bit of showboating, but Prophet is just awesome.
I mean, he's that good. When you're this good, when you're a former champion, like, you can do this kind of stuff. The Echo is super entertaining there, and you know what? I could watch Prophet highlight reels all day, And I think we might get a chance if they continue to play well going into the Melee tournament.
Yeah, I think that's very likely. Seoul, definitely one of the most dynamic teams, and looking better than ever. And look, you might be going, yeah, but they just beat the Valiant. What are you talking about, man? Like, of course, it's like, look, you can still judge a team by degree of dominance over a team that's weaker than them. And this is still impressive from the Dynasty. Not every team would have been able to hand things to the Valiant quite the way the Dynasty did here today.
I mean, that's exactly it, ZP, right? Is that we saw them play against a pretty strong team yesterday in New York Excelsior, and they won that 3-0. It was a close 3-0, but they were able to do it. Now you put them against a team like the Valiant, and they're able to take a dominating 3-0 victory. That's the kind of consistent performance you want to see from a team that's looking to make a deep playoff run. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll wrap up this match. So don't go anywhere, guys. Overwatch League is going to return in just a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Xfinity, the preferred internet provider of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back to the Overwatch League. You know, ZP and I were talking during the little break we had about what we were going to do for our Cheez-It Grooves game break. And, you know, there's only one moment to me that really stands out as what could really encompass this particular dimension of crunch time. You know, you brought up when we were chatting, there's many dimensions of crunch time, aren't there?
Yes, there's so many ways to experience crunch. We're not just talking about the savory flavor of your favorite snack. No, duh. Right now we're talking about the ephemeral feeling of just your pride getting crunched as you showboat against the enemy and you just get it thrown right back in your face. You go, you know what? We're so far ahead. We're going to duplicate an Ana. We're going to nano boost that Ana. And we're so good that we're going to lose this point because why? Why?
This is sick, though. Look. Sleep dart on Shochang right away. That's pretty sick, right? You know, okay, good start. He's staying alive. He's keeping gesture healed, right? He gets the nano boost specifically. He tosses it onto creative. It's like, LOL, we nano boosted our Ana. We did it. Mission accomplished. But then, of course, things did not go well. Valiant ended up coming back and taking the point, and it ended up being a bit of a hubris crunch instead of a mind crunch for Seoul Dynasty there.
Or another spin out, it's the forbidden crunch that they went there. It carries a terrible cost afterwards.
Right. But I mean, there was just like, that is just one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, what more can you say? Like, yeah, it was silly and they lost the point, but I love it. Keep doing that in a way that then wins the point. That's the way you make that better, Seoul Dynasty. There you go. Free coaching advice. You're welcome.
That's what we're here for. We're here to talk to you about crunch time, not just in the normal ways, but all the other ways that it can impact your life. And this was a big learning lesson, really was.
Yep, that's right. So on that note, we're going to wrap up the Seoul Dynasty versus LA Valiant set. Again, Seoul Dynasty getting the 3-0, jumping up in the standings. Huge match for them. Rough time again for the LA Valiant, but hey, you know, it's only the beginning of the season. We'll see what they can do. Our next series coming up, it's going to be Guangzhou Charge versus Hangzhou Spark. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be Avril and Achilleos casting that one. They will be with you in just a few. Don't go anywhere. The Overwatch League will return shortly.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. So much flavor, it's a mind crunch.
See if he can pull it in. There's the ult from Rio. Is it enough?
Choi just keep going.
Again with the 2K.
Choi has 3. Another 3 for Choi. 4. Just 4.
Dude.
Okay.
I'm blown away. Choi Sewan MVP.
Now, because Architect's been pushing this payload for so long, they have got Graviton Surge, and Bernard can just launch it in the back line. He does just that.
And with the sticky on the pulse bomb, it finds Toby and Carpe. That's 2 huge picks here.
Stylistic differences. Rio, go ahead and take that nano boost.
Okay.
Get a couple kills here. Whoa, okay. Sometimes monkey slap.
They will be able to try to get back into this fight, but is it going to be too late now that Cosby has managed to take that pick onto Carpe? Alarm is put to sleep. He has that nano boost and the grab coming alive. It's going to be a cleanup right here, Jaws, as the rest of Spark, they send Fusion back to the spawn.
Alrighty, welcome back. Achilles and Avril jumping on the cast to guide you guys through the rest of the evening. Yet again, you and I jumping in after a very swift series. This time, just one coming in for the second and the third, so we still have plenty more Overwatch action to go through this evening. But yeah, I mean, man, what a way for Seoul Dynasty to go ahead and punch their ticket into that second slot for the May Melee. Very concise victory for them in that last series. Now we look forward to the future for our next series to see how these two teams are going to perform.
Yep, it's going to be the classic Joe-off. We got Hangzhou Spark versus the Guangzhou Spark. You know, 6 times these teams have met in the past. There's only one remaining spot left in the APAC qualifiers for the May Melee here. Of course, Hangzhou Spark, after the loss yesterday, they can't make it in anymore. The best result they can get is a 1-3, so they've been unfortunately eliminated. Guangzhou Charge, though, still have an opportunity here. So, you know, you mentioned already, but with Seoul Dynasty collecting a 3-0, they move up into the second seed here above the Chengdu Hunters. There's still a 4th seed available. Could be Shanghai, Guangzhou, or New York. All 3 teams have a bit of a shot to kind of just narrow it down to give a simplistic take on how this is going to work. Basically, if Shanghai win it all, they make it in. Otherwise, Guangzhou and New York just have to do the best they can.
Yeah, we'll see who can come out. Like you said, the battle of the Joes, the average Joes, as we like to say for a classic little dodgeball reference. But guys, make sure you submit your artwork to our fan art gallery at overwatchleague.com/art-gallery. See if your stuff gets featured. We've already seen some wonderful artwork. Who knows? Maybe the devs will decide to put some of it in the game. I can't make any promises on that front, but it would be really nice if we could, because you know, seeing some of the skins that have made it into the game so far have just been absolutely wonderful. So maybe we get some more fan-featured content put out there. So the more you submit, the more likely maybe it becomes. I don't know. I don't control any of this stuff. Yell at Hex.
You can draw better than Mr. X. If you can do better than Carl, you know, it's
anybody can do better than that. Anybody can do better than what Mr. X draws. Yeah, I think that if I had a child tomorrow, I could hand them a marker and it would look a bit more in line with the Mona Lisa compared to Mr. X's artwork. But here's our standings at the moment for the APAC region. So unfortunately for the Valiant, they have yet to pick up that win, find themselves at that -11 map differential. So it's been rough tidings overall for them. Fusion strong at the top, Chengdu Hunters as well right there. So our 3 teams locked in, everybody vying for this final slot. Guangzhou Charge and NYXL, they need to come out swinging if they want to get themselves into it.
And just to, you know, talk over it a little bit more, I alluded to that already, but you did see up there, obviously Seoul are in, they have a +7, so don't mind that it shows that Chengdu's number 2 with the +7 map differential. Seoul are definitely 2nd seed, not 3rd seed, but yeah, there's one more seed left up for grabs here, Seth, and it's going to be a rough one because, as is mentioned, if Shanghai win their match versus New York at all, they're just in. Their record is far too far ahead. Right now, they're at a +1, while being at a 2-1. You got Guangzhou Charge sitting at -3. You have New York Excelsior sitting at a -4, so they're quite a fair bit ways behind. Guangzhou Charge need for New York to defeat the Shanghai Dragons, and then Guangzhou Charge also need to have a better map differential than the New York Excel, which they can achieve, I think, just by getting an equal map record or better map record in their matchup versus Hangzhou than what New York are going to have to do versus Shanghai. So really the hard job is going to come down in New York, but at least I think New York are mostly, you know, they have their fate in their own hands. Guangzhou require New York to win, as well as themselves need a good map record today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rough spot to be in, you know, when you're just relying on yourself to have a really solid series. Like if Guangzhou Charge came into today and they say, okay, you know what, if we get a 3-0, we get that 4th slot, then it's easier. You get something that you can really focus in on. The tension doesn't end at the end of this series. It carries onward into that next set to see if the Shanghai Dragons are going to be victorious as well. So that's, you know, an awkward amount of pressure and tension to be under. But we'll take a closer look at 2 of our support players here between Guangzhou and Hangzhou. Karev versus MCD, who had a really great day yesterday.
Exactly, and we look towards these guys as the Ana players because I think both teams are going to be favoring a lot of double bubble today. That's been the primary composition that I think, when you look at the Guangzhou Charge, they've been playing a lot of that recently, looking at the Hangzhou Spark as well, especially in their matchup versus Shanghai yesterday, last night. The maps they look good on, the maps they won were via the double bubble composition. And MCD, Karev, these two guys getting fast nano boost, really putting the healing in, getting those nanos onto their Winston's. That's kind of going to be the win conditions that both teams are going to be looking towards. Close stats, good stats across the board. Decent amount more final blows for MCD though, which I think is very, very good. And Karev is going to come through with a little bit more sleeping and a little bit more healing done.
Yeah, we'll see if MCD can be as elusive as he was just yesterday. Obviously was able to play through King's Row without having died once. I mean, everybody on the side of Hangzhou Spark with very, very low deaths, but him in particular, not even suffering a single loss of his life. So it was really solid performance from him. Fast build times on those nano boosts, and that's going to be really key in this matchup between he and Karev, who is, so well known. At this point, I mean, Karev, when you think about best Anas in the league, Karev is definitely going to be at the top of your list, when you just start thinking about who are the most impactful Ana players. Karev, ever since he entered the Overwatch League, and even before then, has always been delivering with that pick. Taking a look at the Guangzhou Charge starting 6, it's not going to be any real shocks here. Eileen, Choi Se-wan, Rio, Krong, Karev, and Mandu.
And the important thing here to note, a couple of important things, is one, Eileen is still coming in over My Kaylee. So Kaylee started in the first week where you have to say the performance from the Guangzhou Charge wasn't great. They were 0-6, completely winless. They had nothing working for them. That opening week versus Shanghai or Seoul Dynasty. Now as we start to move into week number 3 and they come back in, Eileen suddenly on the roster. You look at the match versus Valiant that they had just yesterday. Much better showing. Eileen's coming through on very similar heroes. He's obviously got the Echo and other heroes that he brings as well, but primarily he kind of just replaces My Kaylee specifically on the Ashe, which was meant to be kind of Kaylee's signature hero, but again, the underperformance has probably required a bit of a roster adjustment here. Rio also comes in over Jihun, who, would kind of, and these two players do trade positions and do trade, playing time. What it really says about what the Guangzhou Charge are trying to do here, though, is they're moving towards probably more Winston or Ryan-focused compositions. Jihun would normally be in for the ball, so as we head into the first map, probably not expecting too much ball comps from the Charge side.
Yes, have to see what they want to piece together. Obviously, any chance you get to throw a Sigma in the mix, it's going to do really well for Krong in particular. But if they're feeling more comfortable overall by going with the double bubble or going with the Reinhardt, then maybe that's what we'll see. But double bubble, that's a lot of what we're anticipating, kind of hoping to see from the side of the Hangzhou Spark. We did see Seoul Min-soo start off the series yesterday. They ended up losing that map of Nepal, so instead we will be seeing Architect off the bat. And this likely leads us to believe that it's going to be a bit more of that Tracer Ashe.
I think this is the winning composition. This is the winning combo. This is the winning roster for the Hangzhou Spark so far. And I think you would normally see Seoul Min-soo come in for that opening control if it was more, moving towards something brawl-centric. You want to see Seoul Min-soo on the May, possibly on the Reaper, something like that. He's going to be bringing out the Symmetra, like those are the Seoul Min-soo heroes so far for the Hangzhou Spark. But like you said, for Shy, we're looking towards Ashe. We're looking towards Arctic playing Tracer. This is going to be a team where for Spark to really focus on that double bubble composition once more. They have to address where they were good last night, and ideally they just go back to that and play that as much as they can.
Yeah, and if they can do that, then honestly, you really kind of start to favor them and think that they're going to have a really good time in this series, despite the fact that Charge have overall looked pretty decent, and Hangzhou Spark are still, struggling from time to time, but they definitely looked a lot cleaner when you can get Gushue on those comfort picks, get Shy in on the Ashe, so we'll see if that is going to be the game plan the whole way throughout the series, or if this is just going to be for the start. Do we see Seoul Min-soo come in at all? So there's still a lot of questions to be answered here from the side of the Hangzhou Spark. But, again, we touched on this a lot yesterday. It's understandable. They did just undergo a major shift in their coaching staff. So they're still, trying to piece things together at the moment. But it seems like they found a very solid foundation in that series versus Shanghai yesterday. So we'll see if this now, getting that first set out of the way, if this is going to be a bigger boon for them. If they can go ahead and net a little win, spare some blushes at the end, as they are already eliminated from the May Melee tournament, but maybe they can end things here on a nice little victory.
And that's the thing, right? Because they haven't actually won yet. They're 0-3 currently. This could be their first opportunity to really get that win underway. Guangzhou Charge have looked like a weaker team so far in APAC. However, this week they started to bounce back. So have Hangzhou Spark caught Guangzhou still in a weak spot, or are they now playing against a Guangzhou Charge that are much better than they were, in which case Guangzhou can still come in and win? We talked at length about how much Guangzhou Charge needs this win to keep their May Melee hopes alive, but if you're the Hangzhou Spark, you also need a win here because you do not want to be ending your first stage 0-4 next to the LA Valiant.
Straight off the bat.
Yeah, well, there you go.
The,
More time to maybe just get into the nuance between the two teams, because I think I mentioned this before as well, but 6 times these two teams have actually met in the past, and 4 of those matches, fun fact, have actually gone to a map 5. So if anything, maybe we're expecting a long series here.
Okay, well, it seems like everything's going to be okay and quickly taken care of as the players go ahead and spam ready. Kariv confirming that Guangzhou is also ready to resume, so we just need to get the admins set to go ahead and unleash us from this pause hell that we sometimes find ourselves in. Didn't quite, it looked like somebody had said what the issue was, but I didn't quite get to catch what it was before the chat scrolled away. But just your esports history lesson when players type PP. It's not because they have to go to the restroom. It says, please pause. It's been used since the StarCraft Brood War days in competitive play, and it continues onward.
That being said, like if you go pause long enough, maybe you could go to the bathroom, but that's what the breaks between maps are for. That's why you see players run out of the seats pretty much instantly. But, well, here we go. Map number 1, going over towards Gardens. Architect on towards the Echo here. Shy is going to be Tracer. Yes, so not going to be seeing Ash to start things out with an actual brawl from the Guangzhou Charge side of things as well. I thought maybe they'd be leaning towards a choice safe on Tracer, not to start things out with them.
Yeah, it's going to be Shy on Tracer as well, with an Architect going into this guys with the Echo. Going to be battling against this McCree. Be a dangerous prospect. We'll see how they want to try to pile around this. Right now they're looking to break down the wall to try to save Bernard's life, but it's too little too late. He will be the first blood here. As Guangzhou will very easily be able to nab the first lockdown to the point. Let's see how the reapproach comes in. Bernard immediately going to be swapping off of the Zarya. Goes for the Diva now to rejoin a little bit faster and try to mitigate some of the damage coming through. If not, eat one of these blizzards, which of course they want.
It's just down to the single bubble now, and 60% for MCD as well, waiting for a possible engage option. The nano's required here. You will see Grushray take a bit of damage on purpose, trying to charge that one up, and part of the win condition that we saw yesterday from Hangzhou Success is definitely here in terms of Grushray starting on the Winston. We'll have to see how that follows up. Architect on 1 HP. Luckily, they'll get him up.
Yeah, he and IDK both quite low into the back. Goes Shy. Flashbang not going to connect Mylene. Just fanning the hammer. Rolls back. It's the reload. Trying to stay safe. Freezes out on the Gushray. And even with an Anubis, it's not going to be enough to try to keep him alive. So he does get melted down. Tong finding that kill. And it seems like Guangzhou Charge will be able to hold on to this point for a bit longer at least. Blizzard used in the fight. They get the win. Amp Matrix burned as well. But otherwise, fairly efficient here from the side of the Charge. Really have that sound barrier online. Pulse bomb out. Ooh, almost finds Eileen, but not quite going to be good enough to take down the Cowboy. Architect swinging. Has the Shatter online. He's going to try to set up. Core drops it straight into the shield. Only finds one hit. Not going to work, and now he's got to pull back, but he's unable to do so as Eileen takes him out of the sky.
Eileen's going to take down Shy as well, so that's going to be the fight over. 3-year solo Shadow into Goose Race. The Primal's not going to get too much more done. That looked like a possible turnaround for the Hangzhou Spark. You consider that the duplication is there. There's also a Primal. These are good ultimates. Shy's thinking, you know what? Ash was how we won yesterday. Go back to the Ash. Is Architect staying on the Echo? Probably for now. Ash Echo is doable, but it will, I guess in this composition, kind of work out since there's no Tracer online for Choice at 1 or the side of Guangzhou Charge. You're not really thinking too hard about the backline threats here. See if this gets enough damage. We're already on 90%, and Hangzhou Spark need a lot to work with. And all the ultimates are basically on Charge's side.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Shy can build up a very rapid bomb here, but let's get these picks, get these little damage in. For the shot now on the Choice A1. Does man tap him once in the skull. He's going to go ahead into the ice block, get topped up. Nearly has another Blizzard ready to roll. Immortality Field going to be used. Wall comes through to block out that self-destruct. Architect pushing forward with the beam. Does manage to get rid of free health. It's a big major part here of that front line taken down. Gushray hopping to the side, trying to stay alive. Keep himself in the fight for a little bit longer as the self-destruct comes in, and it does find the Winston. It's the kill. That eye not going to lead to any kills naturally, but it gets quite a bit of damage through. There's a follow-up coming in now as Bernard will get demeched. OT will bleed away, and it's a 100-0 start for Guangzhou Charge.
Hangzhou came into that one unfortunately quite slowly. They had to build up this nano. They couldn't find the early damage, and ideally they can get into a situation where they just play for range. They play for Architect's win condition on the Echo. If you can find a target, you can beam down, get a 6v5 in there as well. You start seeing, the Hangzhou engine working. but Brawl ends up being quite powerful for the Charge side, which again, surprising. I thought maybe they'd lean in towards the double bubble. They will now as we head into city centers. So how about that? Bernard's going to be, I think he'll realize at some stage if Krong's going to go Zarya, Bernard might just like go to Zarya as well. But otherwise, looking at this on city center with the elevation, D.Va's actually not bad either.
Yeah. Oh. Shift coming through. Bernard's still going to be starting with the D.Va. Krong there on the Zarya. So just the one little minor adjustment so far. Bionade at the start just going to be flipping on Bernard as they look for the opening fight. Architect trying to position himself up above everybody, but takes so much damage. Almost gets taken out, but Eileen can't quite line up that final shot. Down him at 13 HP, and Architect is going to be breathing a sigh of relief that he's able to escape from that and come back into the fight after getting topped up. See where he wants to go as far as his duplicate ultimate this time around. Does open things up nicely with 2 kills. Eileen then into Mandu, beaming him down. This time it seems like Hangzhou Spark, quite handedly, will be able to win on the first fight and get the lockdown on the point.
It's okay, mate. It's the Battle of the Joes. We'll get there. That's what we're expecting today with Architect. You know, this time around he's low again, so it's very similar to what we saw in the neutral earlier on Gardens. Architect down to 1 HP, but he survives, and this is where the D.Va really helps out, right? Because the defensive matrix pocketing keeps him up there. Also has the capability of diving on the same target as Architect. So you're seeing the Hangzhou Spark side playing more for the echo win conditions rather than putting resources into Goose Rate, which is where they're going to find the wins, because Architect finds those 2 kills and they get what they needed to do done here, what they couldn't get done on Gardens, which is get the opening damage to convert a kill with the focusing.
Pulse bomb nearly up now. Nano boost through Rio. Shoving them back, almost finds MCD, who lets his own Nano boost go. Gushway snapping into the back lines alongside Shy. Will come up with multiple kills. Towards they want trades 1 back, but seems like that might be as good as it gets. Gushway does get the pitch here onto Krong, making sure that they can reset his energy, make it that much longer, that much harder of a task for him to try to build up towards his first Graviton Surge.
You can see that Hangzhou Spark's dive coordination and their dive pressure so much higher because they're running, you know, more actual dive heavy heroes. You have the D.Va that can follow up on the Winston and also the Echo and also the Tracer, so it's like a 4-man dive squad, and that's quite powerful. Guangzhou Charge are kind of lacking it when playing the more classic double bubble here. They're going to be trying to receive this dive, use the flashbangs, use the shield bash, unless losing members. It's another double Bionet that comes through from MCD that will win the fight.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one. Going in for the Deadeye. Now the knockback to send Krong into the pit. Well, they're trying to do so. Bubble himself to live a little bit longer, but just be dead against that pillar at the end as Architect continues to excel right now, just commanding the skies. Eileen, a bit wanting with that last Deadeye attempt, was bionated, jumped on. Everybody melted. It's a really nice nade overall from MCD. Now they're looking to take the fight over towards the spawn just to ensure that the Guangzhou Charge cannot touch. Primal Rage will be used by Rio to get himself over onto the point as we hit 99% now for the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Or the Hangzhou Spark, rather. Shy, his pulse bomb. Gonna break open the back line, get rid of some of these ultimates. If he can find Karif right now, that would deny the nano boost. It would be absolutely huge. Rio, however, still going to be gone, so now they don't have a great recipient for the nano. It's going to have to go onto somebody like Krong or maybe even Eileen as they look to flip this point.
Waiting for the grab here. I mean, you want to grab into Bionade from Kareem. Here's the nano onto Krong, so they're putting all the eggs into this basket. He slept, and the both supports are down. Seth, I think this is it. There's no more supports alive, and they're not going to be able to contest either 100-0, and we respond in kind. Where Spark really struggled on Gardens, they come back much stronger on City Center. And if you're the Charge here, you have to start thinking, was it good for us to run the McCree here? Or would it have been better for, let's say, for example, Eileen to go Echo, Choice F1, yeah, he can stay on the Tracer here and maybe lean more towards what Spark were playing. I mean, it's easy to say that, seeing now that Spark have won, but the extra D.Va, plus the Echo diving, putting the resources this time in towards Architect instead of Goose Ray, and then for Goose Ray to still perform kind of adequately, and you know, Shy was able to find a lot of damage on Tracer, which yesterday we saw Shy, we're thinking, yeah, this guy's great on Ash so far, and maybe we just want to see more Ash, and today you're seeing now the Tracer's actually more than up to scratch. On top of that, MCD lands a ton of double Bionades on, and I think it was Mandu and Eileen copying a couple of those in a row. Those Bionades really make a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great accuracy from MCD. He has been shifting over now to the Baptiste, so we will not see him on at least for the start of the round. But it's not going to be too shocking as everybody just looking to run at each other here with the McCree May. Krong falling back onto his favorite pick of the Sigma. I'm sure that he's utilizing his own personal comfort here. Just playing around the flank, trying to poke out onto Bernard where possible. keep that shield raised. He has been quite low this entire time. Going back over onto the point now, Shy getting a nice ding in onto Rio, softens him up. They do get a stun down. They're looking to finish off the enemy Ryan. They're unable to do so, and it's actually going to be the Sparks Ryan who does fall. Eileen getting the kill onto Guangzhou, so maybe Guangzhou just go ahead and swing this right back over into their favor. Get the first lockdown. They do so.
You see, by the way, Guangzhou's body dying quite close, so maybe he was out of position. He certainly got frozen up, and eventually the extra damage output, the extra brawling capability, and this is where Sigma's actually kind of underrated. Brawl has quite a few different colors available. I mean, we played the Zarya previously, now we're looking towards Diva, and some teams still actually prefer the Sigma as Chrome. So you noted, maybe a comfort pick as well. Chrome is super good on the Sigma that we saw from last season. And, just the extra output from the Sigma, the second shield as well, pretty good. So, windows available on both ends, expecting both windows to be deployed.
Aggro fight coming in, Shy looking to save them back. This is the Deadeye, won't be able to find too much. Gets that flashbang in, Fancy Hammer on the ground, and take him down to about half HP, but the heals will start streaming through to keep him topped up. Blizzard now coming in. Shy going to be the first one to fall. Architect lasting a little bit longer, given his own ice block, but the wall will not really take him out to safety, it seems. That being said, the Mortality Field comes in. Blizzard's going to be used on the back of the Shatter. They do manage to get a freeze here onto both of the tanks. Pin comes in, it's going to be good as Rio will fall. They need a bit more than that, though, to get themselves onto the point.
That's cold.
See if he wants to turn, because on half HP, currently the only tank available. Here comes that Flux. They want to go for this one. If they can confirm a lot with the Flux and have Krong stay alive and 14 HP, Rio's coming back from spawn. It is still doable. At least it will force out extra ultimates from the Spark.
Yeah, they're making them burn through everything that they have. Rio just goes in to delay a little bit longer. It's not going to be any kind of 99% play. Mondu pushing him up to 73 as the flip does come in, but he said a lot has to be expended by the Spark just to get themselves onto the point for the first time here on University. Deadeye shattered, nearly that immortality, rather the Amp Matrix is available here for Kareev. So plenty to work with to go for this long left angle approach. Uses his own, wall comes up, just going to buy time.
Do need to see Spark go first here because they know they have less ultimates. They have to burn, or rather, they have to try and farm more ultimates as they pop down the amplification matrix. Guangzhou Charge don't want to fight. They're happy to wait it out. They know they're ahead in percentage on terms of the actual cap itself. So getting back in, it's Kareev's turn. They also have the Deadeye. Shadow might be played here as well.
Deadeye here from Eileen. There's the Amp Matrix.
Guangzhou's in the pit.
Good ice block from Architect, keeps himself safe, but IDK is dead. Now Architect gone. It already used that self-protection. Bernard going up into the sky. Shatter comes down. It does manage to catch on to 3 members. The Immortality Field gets used. The counter Shatter comes in. Guangzhou trying to protect, trying to just pull back here onto the point, but Rio swinging away. Manages to find the kill. Will knock Bernard out of the mech. The point has flipped back into the favor of the Guangzhou Charge. And this is going to be one-fight territory now for the Spark.
You do see Charge there. I mean, they know that Guangzhou was into the pit, but they still got caught by the Shatter. It was a bit of a, scary moment there for the Guangzhou Charge. Maybe they can get caught by the Shatter and this is where Spark can turn the fight around. Couldn't get the damage in though, so despite Guangzhou's heroics coming up through the side room, will still go down, takes a ton of damage, 95%. This is definitely last fight. Spark need to rapidly contest this as fast as they can. Kareev will nearly have a window, and he'll pop it instantly.
Get the Blizzard just cutting them off at the front. IDK kind of sacrificing himself, goes down, gets into the pit, does manage to pick up the Mega Pack to stay alive for a little bit longer, but needs to get back up top to rejoin in with the rest of his team. Delays coming in, Architect using his own Blizzard, looking for some kills. Guangzhou going to be the first one to fall. Now they don't have a shield to stand behind, but MCD and IDK start doing some serious work. They come up with a few kills. They continue to extend this. IDK with another one takes down Eileen as he uses the Deadeye. They will actually swing the fight. They have to throw everything in the kitchen sink at this, but the Spark, they get a second lease on life.
I don't know if Mandu had the sound barrier in time, or certainly didn't have enough place to save towards the end there, so save it and move on. We've also held his Matrix for a little bit longer than I expected. Obviously, choice of one with the early Blizzard to try and stop the Spark from entering onto the point itself. And now as we head towards this next fight, it's double tank ultimates available. And we're starting to run out of resource for the Spark. We need to see IDK get the sound barrier up as fast as possible because that Flux is probably going to open things up and IDK needs to respond.
Oh, the Shatter is good. It catches both the DPS. Now the Flux is going to be coming in on the back end. That being said, as this Flux comes through, Rio and Eileen have already fallen. IDK gets the beat. They manage to survive. The counter Shatter comes in, and suddenly the Spark might just be able to close this out. 92% on the board as Mondu dies here on the back end. Can obviously rejoin in quite quickly, but they have to really rely on Rio alone to tag this point. He makes his way into the back, but he's going to be frozen. He pops the shield. It's not going to be enough. They melt him down, and is that just it? It looks like it will be. Cowboy cannot get there fast enough, and the Hangzhou Spark they managed to take the first map here of Oasis, seemingly pulling the rug out from beneath Guangzhou's feet.
Yeah, what a turnaround there. That was insane. I mean, you look towards that second to last fight, the clutch coming on through. IDK gets a couple on the boop, including taking down Eileen while going for the Deadeye. So, you know, plays like that, and then having the capability to come through in the last fight, Gushue lands a shatter, and suddenly everything comes online at exactly the right time. Spark comes through. They manage to get this miraculous fight win, and it looked like it was over for the Spark, but there it is. They get the Brawl map victory, and, you know, we have this kind of thing yesterday where we were saying, no double bubble, no win. Well, now they actually come through in the Brawl mirror, and they win that as well.
Yeah, fantastically done from them, just completely shifting that ult economy on its head, back into their favor. The good counter ults coming through, the shatters from Gushue, nailing multiple people. It's a good look for the Hangzhou Spark, but let's see if they can keep it up or if Guangzhou can respond with a map one of their own as we get ready to go into map number 2. That's going to be coming up in just a few minutes, so do not go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by Indeed, we help people get jobs. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League, and by IBM, the official cloud and AI partner of the Overwatch League.
Alrighty, welcome back. Well, we start things off here in our second series of the day with a bit of a roller coaster on Oasis. Hangzhou Spark able to take it in the end 2-1, but both teams fighting extremely hard to try and get that map away from the other. But Spark, they barely are able to clinch it out in the final moments.
And you have Spark going off to a pretty rough start on that Gardens. Obviously, they tried to play the double bubble into the Brawl. Brawl more successful there. It was just difficult for the Hangzhou Spark to get anything going. The Nanos weren't really finding enough value. Gushue was getting melted. We swap sides. We go towards City Center. Then you have this kind of a more dive-centric double bubble, if that makes sense, with the, the Echo coming through and even the variation of the Diva. So I guess it's not really double bubble, just a single bubble there for Gushue. But it gives them so much more dive priority that it kind of they get so many better engages. And the Charge team moving into the double brawl, yep. I expected that maybe Charge were going to take the lead here and kind of take down the Hangzhou Spark, but in what was an incredible turnaround, Spark will get that final sub-map in a really decisive manner as well, right towards the end. 2 fights in a row. And a couple of notable things I noticed as well was Architect got 1,700 damage, more than Choice at 1 on the May, and Gushue out-damaged Rio on the Rhine by 1,800.
It's good figures. I mean, that's enough to, to push the limit and get you across the board. I mean, and those shatters as well. Huge value coming in from Gushue. I mean, not to say that Rio wasn't getting some pretty meaty ones either, but turnaround was there. We got some really good bloodthirsty support moments. I'm sure Doa is watching and relaxing at home right now in the evening hours in Los Angeles, going like, yes, I enjoy this very much. Just going like this with his fingers. As, IDK and MCD just, between the two of them, turned that, that second to last fight around by, getting rid of Eileen as he's in the middle of the Deadeye and whatnot. It was really good play from everybody, a very concerted effort overall to get that map win for the Hangzhou Spark. Now we look forward to Temple of Anubis, our second map in the series, as we do move into Assault, to see if Guangzhou is going to be able to turn this around on its head, tie us up, or if we will be looking at a very strong lead from the side of the Spark.
Now, important thing to note here is that May Melee back in over Eileen. So
Yes.
Charge, they're going to be trusting this. And as I said previously, when we looked at the history of Guangzhou Charge so far this season, 0-6 in that first week, and they had May Melee playing the entire time. Didn't see Eileen at all, as far as I remember. And since Eileen's been back, at least for the Valiant game, that was the first win for the Guangzhou Charge, and Eileen was playing the same heroes anyway. Now going over to Anubis, where, I think Charge's game plan here is definitely to play, for someone like Kaylee, I would expect the Ashe. That's been kind of his hero. I know they haven't quite started on it yet. Are they actually going to do Kaylee Tracer? I suspect they probably wouldn't. It is.
I think they're just going to be screwing around a little bit. Still in the drop.
Yeah, that'll be the case. So I think this is the case where you're looking towards the hero pools and you're thinking, well, if you have a specific Ashe specialist, put Kaylee onto it, or to make it just a grapple out of the spawn. But again, a bit of trust required here because Kaylee has been on a losing streak with the Charge.
We'll see if he's going to be having a slightly different fortune here today. Choice they want for the moment, swapping over onto the Echo. We'll be matching Architect if they decide to stick through it. Kaylee coming around the side. So if he just wants to go for a pop shot or if he's going to be looking to commit in with his Widow for now.
I think Krong might change. This is a little bit more weird to be playing, I think, the Diva to start out with. Now, I know we had that discussion over towards, City Center on Oasis, but this is a little bit more different. So, we'll see what Krong does as we move forward. Obviously, taking a look towards both Ana plays. That's the most important stat here. Goose Ray getting damage, but that's fine. MCD's using that heal.
Kaylee somehow staying alive there. Architect not quite able to find that final blow. Dangerously low, though. Continue to poke out onto the Shy. Will knock Choice they want out of the sky. Let's find that body shot. Now pressing forward. Oh my God, the double tap as he's grappling out. Wonderful tracking there from Shy. Some might even call it beautiful. Just break down this bubble. There's a classic reference for you. And it's going to be a firm start to this defense now for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. Kaylee, however, coming back from the spawn, does manage to find Architect, and I don't think he's quite going to be resable, but it's hard to say. Haven't been able to see exactly where the corpse is at. I hear the... Yep, there we go. It does get him in the end. But IDK gives his life for that, so that might not even be very good. Architect, if he can get a duplicate up, they can delay in this fight, maybe it'll end up being worth it in the end. But IDK, he's not going to have anybody able to come back and try to ferry him back over to the point, so he's just going to straight up swap now over onto the Lucio.
Yeah, they need the nano. IDK knows he's got no time to work with, so that's a brilliant counter trade coming on through. And now you're starting to think it's probably not worth it. Architect dies, but you don't want to res him with IDK down. Bob's going to buy a bit of time here, which is decent. This nano as well needs to carry further. I think the nano's already been used at this point. Bushray has a primal available and should be able to hold on now with IDK back on Lucio.
Well, IDK is doing IDK things. Should be named IDC because he just does whatever the hell he wants.
Maybe he doesn't know.
And maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, but it just looks really good. It's just accidentally styles on people from time to time. Gushway going to be taking a little bit of a nap. As they set up, Bio nade in with the sticky bomb.
Can't even primal.
In the meantime, does get traded out, but yeah, he can't pop the primals, just no time. Really good coordination there to get the punish if he needs to. He's going to be all right to actually rush back. They're not getting their way onto the point super quickly here. So he will be able to rejoin in. Not have to use that primal early, especially with Architect doing this. Goes ahead, gets a duplicate out onto Rio, gets his own primal online, and just looks to cause all sorts of disruption by knocking people around. Just delaying them being able to get in onto the point. The sleep will come through. Yeah, they kind of just have to leave him there, though. They don't want to wake him back up. Gushway rejoining the fight, pops the primal, does get antied for the moment. IDK on a little bit low, trying to duke it out here against McKinley, but he will get the better of the Lucio this time around. Shy now out of the fight as well. Gushway taking yet another nap. Kariv is just nailing him with these darts time and time again, and that will be point A going the way of the Charge.
Unfortunately for Spark, it was kind of inevitable at that stage. If IDK comes back on a Lucio, you don't have great opportunities to try and win anymore. Lucio just doesn't have good healing targets here. Lucio just doesn't really work on this composition. And eventually you're going to get grinded out. Gushray getting slept and instantly burned down, no chance to primal is kind of insult to injury at that stage. Thankfully, Architect did have a duplicate, holds on, use the primal, and really tries to allow time for Gushray to come back in. Now striking the kill into May Melee, though. This will stop Charge from getting a double cap. There's also no ultimates, really speaking, for the Charge just yet, working towards a nano. And now they are playing proper double bubble, so there it is. Both teams playing the same comp, roughly.
Yeah, another shot. Should I say one out of the fight? Just have to wait that much longer. I mean, dink, out time and time again. It's just doming people. The accuracy on this guy is terrifying.
That's what Mike Haley needs to be thinking about as well towards this McCree. I mean, they're playing in more of a... I see it that if they get onto the point itself and Haley uses, you know, this extra HP on the McCree, rolling out with the flashbang as well, it's going to be pretty decent. There's so much time and space has been bought by Spark via just Shy pushing them away, a couple of nice picks, and are available on both sides, but the Bob will just delay. Longer this goes, you know, Gushra's going to pick up a Primal as well, the defensive Primal. So much more useful. You know, I think the offensive Primal is decent, but the defensive Primal just leans you further into defensive spawn advantages. You get 2 Primals, but Architect has duplicate as well, and so, again, the longer this takes, the more resource Spark can prove.
Yeah, I mean, Bernard currently leading in that ult charge as well for the Graviton Surge. I mean, defenders, Zarya advantage, can poke out, build that up, try to generate some additional energy. And out onto Rio, bubbling him forward. Now, spots out Shy, he says, yep, that's the guy I gotta kill. The bomb does get let loose over onto the point, but he does manage to get the assassination here onto the enemy Ashe. Goes around the back of the tomb, but has to leap out. So much damage being pushed forward. In the meantime, Architect has gone ahead, got the duplicate out onto Krong, throws down that grab, just further slowing up the charge, trying to keep them off the point. Rally rolling for Mondu.
Second grab.
Extra grab now coming in. Bernard using his own, and every twisted turn, they just cannot get to the point. Bionade on top of it with the sticky bombs, and nobody stood a chance. It melted through everybody like a hot knife through butter. And it's 1 minute 30 seconds remaining now for the Charge.
Yeah, just too many ultimates. The Charge had to, you know, go through so many of Spark's ultimates to get any distance there, and any distance would be currently none. Haven't really touched the point. But that's also important. They need to bleed through as many ultimates from Spark as possible. So most of them are gone. We're looking towards Rally and Primal obviously still being up for Gushrain. It's Krong's turn to get this Graviton Surge, and Krong plus a grenade from Kari will do it. That plus, you know, Choice of One eventually getting his own duplicate would be hard to play with, but this is what we're talking about. Time and time again, Shy opening up like that completely ruins the timing.
Yep. It's 15, 20 seconds bought now. It's a bubble from Krong, has to be a pop.
Could be more, it is.
Pushing all the way in the back. Yep, Grip, he gets taken out. Huge play. Gushrain does get punished, but obviously he's got the spawn advantage, so I don't think they're too concerned about this one right now. They're still waiting for Karif to respawn, so it's basically like Gushrain didn't give up anything. Obviously a little bit of ult charge going to be gained by some of the members here on the side of the Charge, but overall, that's going to be a very big net positive.
And this is what we saw yesterday when Hangzhou played against Shanghai, where Shy were just finding these picks out of nowhere. Flater was constantly dead. Shy would just get these picks and completely turn fights around 6v5. It ruins the timing of pushes. You're starting to see the rotation coming through from Charge here. They want to go through Dark. They'll be on the left side in a bit of a hot second. They need to get this grab going. IDK might even want to pre-rally about now.
Still holding it here for the time being. Nano boost used. Jump comes in for Rio. Doesn't yet have that Primal. It doesn't have too many targets. We'll start zapping away here onto IDK. Rio has to jump back out onto the left side, get himself into the catacombs to try to stay safe. Architect now has a duplicate. See Choice A1 taking the Zarya. Architect going to be opting in for the Winston. Dives in. So much cleave damage being pushed up, but he cannot get the Primal range off. Could that be a turn in the fight? That being said, Rio eliminated. Kariv gone, Krong gone, one after the other. They will all bleed away on the point. And this will be a very nice hold on point B, surrendering 0% over to the Charge. The Spark, they pull it off nicely.
And no grab from Krong, sadly. Wasn't able to find it. Nothing there. Got slept. Fight was over. Wakes up. Whole team's dead anyway. A little bit of a disappointing final attack coming through from the Charge where, you know, they will eventually get A after a bit of time was split off. And, you know, it comes down to successfully getting IDK down. I think that would have been different if IDK doesn't die on the Mercy. You know, you think about a situation where you let Architect respawn, IDK doesn't go for the res, doesn't get punished, and Spark maybe hold even further on towards A. It ends up not mattering because Spark completed a hold on B, no progress made at all. And a lot of this comes down to Charge being slow to start with, and then on top of that, Spark getting extra ultimates. And if that wasn't enough, Shy is just annihilated body. Though that, I think that one kill to, I think it was Rio, which then snowballed onto a kill to Kariv as well, burning 20 plus seconds. It's not just a time loss, Achilles, it's also taking the tempo away from Charge when at that point it's the perfect time for Charge to go. That's when they want to fight. And if you remove 20 seconds, you allow Spark to then build up more ultimates and put themselves in a better position to win. When the timing is completely off for Charge, it's just ruined. The entire push is ruined. So this is why you're probably not seeing Gods B, you know, starting anymore, because Shy is doing this like consistently, map after map after map, match after match.
Yeah, it's just scary. It's looking like one of the best Ash players that we have in the league right now. This is, you know, what he's able to display on a team that otherwise has struggled so far at the start of the season. So if the Hangzhou Spark continue to develop and, you know, maybe even just close out this set in a one-sided fashion, who knows where he's going to end up ranking, getting ranked rather, by the end of this whole 2021 split.
I mean, it's not even just about the stats. I mean, he had great stats. I mean, I looked at those on King's Road yesterday, but it's the impact, the timing. It's just the fact that he'll find that one pick for you when the enemy team can least afford to have a pick going wrong. So it's just Shy getting this extreme high-impact kill exactly when Spark needed. Now, I mean, I guess a red carpet should be rolled out here. They know what the target is. One tick on B is all they require to get a 2-0 lead. Spark already off to, you know, a great start on, I would say, both maps here. Obviously, they won the previous one, Shy going down, though, so Kaylee gets a bit of revenge.
Yeah, a nice little boon there, but IDK obviously still playing on the Mercy yet again, so does get the res off, brings him back into the fight. Shy not going to be losing too much pace as far as the Angeles Charge is concerned. Kaylee just with a slight little lead over him for now.
Nano boost is ready to deploy.
Nano chip damage. He's being pushed out here. Yeah, Nano available. Bernard falling low. I mean, MCD, he does not want to have to use this on the Zarya. Just pull back a little bit. Let's try to save this. Speaking of Nanos, Karib going to be using his. Goes on to Rio. Sleep Dart is there from MCD. Nano now going to be used onto Bernard as he hits 100 energy. They almost get the kill, but Architect is there for the alley-oop. Gets him with the sticky bombs in the end. Bernard keeping everybody contained over on this right side of the point. Throws out the grab. That's going to be the go button now for Guangzhou. Comes diving in, just cleaving them all down. And that is it for point A. They break them down. Rio, the only one alive at the moment, cannot get back over this point. Even if he wanted to, he would not. So,
and I gotta say as well, I mean, MCD I think would have preferred to actually put the Nano to Guangzhou despite the high charge of Bernard, because Guangzhou dies, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want to have your Winston going down. But it's a combination of MCD hitting an insanely good sleep dart into Rio, preventing Rio from doing much more with a Nano or even a Primal. Doesn't get the Primal. Guangzhou dies, gets rezzed, and Bernard having high energy, then converting that into, you know, a Nano plus a grab into a fight win. Can the double camp happen? There's a lot of ultimates on both sides. Both the DPSs on both teams have them. The big difference will be Krong on the grab. And unlike the attack for charge, we do need to see Krong use this grab quite effectively.
Yeah, it's got to be big. He's got to generate some energy here. As they look to poke and prod and stave them off here at the beginning. Shy going to jump back as the Bionade does connect. Keeps himself safe. Bob going to be sent down over onto the point. Start the contest. Jumping out into the back as IDK goes up into the sky with the Valkyrie. Rio causing a bit of chaos here with the Primal. Just trying to keep everybody cut off from each other. Trying to block out some of these healers. Bob for Bob. It's going to be traded out. Architect goes in. Duplicate going to be used. Copies Rio. Gets that Primal Rage up. They want already eliminated. They're looking for Rio on the backside. They managed to find him, and that could just be it right here. One tick is all that they need. Krong, he's used the grab. It doesn't lead to any kills, though, and he's still quite low energy. 6C is not going to cut it when you have to cut through an entire enemy team. Dynamite over the top, won't even need to connect. They have the point. They dominate the map. Hangzhou Spark move up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that attack as well, there were so many more ultimates. Well, I say so many more. There was a reasonable amount of more ultimates coming online for the Spark. Then on the side of, you know, the Guangzhou Charge, the one big advantage that they didn't have was actually the grab from Krong. You can see his face right here. He's probably not too pleased about that performance. And I'm not going to say it's his fault. It's definitely not the grab or nothing else, because you saw everything else come in. Rio tried to dive in. Both teams used the Bob as well. Both teams used the duplicate. But when the dust settles and there's only like one thing left and Shy's kind of fragging for free, there's just no pressure. IDK still getting free heals. I think IDK even got a kill there. And it comes down to a grab, a solo grab onto Guangzhou, who was primaling. That's not going to really help out the Charge. So Charge, they've got to figure something out.
Yeah, and they need to do it very fast. Backs against the wall, need to pull off a reverse sweep right now. I mean, you know, to remind everybody, they need to win this series and then have Shanghai lose the next one if they want to take that 4th spot. But it's not looking good at the moment. Down at 0-2 against the Spark, who have a major resurgence after their loss yesterday. We'll see if they can close it out cleanly or if the Charge can extend this series when we come back from the break.
You're powered up. Get in there.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile.